Hey gamers, today we're going to look at Atheneum Mystic Library, or however it's pronounced. Setup for this game is very simple. What you're going to have is you're going to have these little boxes here that you can put together. I just didn't because I'm lazy, but you put these in here and put all of the little book tokens in each one of the boxes there. You'll have a stack of bonus shells put over to the side. You'll have an A stack and a B stack here. You'll shuffle each one of these decks and deal out 6 cards of the A stack to everyone. You're also going to, everyone's going to, starting player palm will start on this little score track here. You'll have these score cards or bonus cards you can score throughout the game. You'll place out 4 here at the bottom, and every round, as you see the arrows, you'll push one off, it'll go away, everything will slide down, and then you'll put a new one out. Okay, just like that, and this one will actually go away. Each player will start with a player board here. Their player board has a little spider token inside of each bookshelf, and each one starts with 2 wands. All the other wands will go right up there in that little area. You also have a bag here. I'll explain what the purpose of that is later. The game is very simple. Basically what you're doing is you're going through your entire deck, you're picking one of the cards and then passing to the player on your left. Not really a fan of the pass and play method, but that's how the game goes. And once everyone has decided which card they're going to do, they're going to take the actions. What this card says here, this bottom action, that's your action. I get a blue and a purple book. The player to my right will get a black book, and the player to my left will get any color book they want. And when they place a book, they will place it there on their bookshelf. How book placement goes, let's say I have a blue and a black, or a blue and a purple, I get whatever these colors are here, black and blue. Okay, by the way, each one has their own individual, they're all different, the titles of each one of these books, of all the tokens. That's incredible, that's very impressive. But anyway, how this is going to work is you're going to place these anywhere on any bookshelf you want, but there has to be some placement rules. First off, you cannot place in the middle of a bookshelf. It has to be leaning against either another book or just one of the walls. So I could place it here, I could place it here, I could not place it here. Same thing it goes when placing on the second tier shelf. If I wanted to, I could place the book up here because it's leaning against this wall and against this. However, let's bring in another book. Let's say I had 2 books here. Could I put it here? No, because even though it's resting on this book, it needs to be resting against one of those walls. So that's basically how placement of books go. Now, placement of books is very important because you're also trying to score some of these points up here. These little bonus cards tell you, hey, you need to get a match of a pink, red, black, and green. If you do, you'll get 3 victory points. Huzzah! Of course, there are some that are even harder. You have to score this type of stack here and you'll get 8 victory points. Or you just need books in those certain areas on your bookshelf and you can grab victory points. Or you need this combination of colors in one of those 2 areas in your bookshelf to score these points. Now, once you score that, you will score that with your wand. Now, multiple people can score on the same card. You just can't score more than once. Once your wand's on there, you can't do it again. And of course, that's how you're going to be getting points. And of course, you'll need more wands so you can score more of those victory points as the game goes on. Now, there are other cards that do different things here. This one lets me grab a tile from the bag as well. Sometimes it'll let the other players grab tiles from the bag. When you grab a tile from the bag, first off, they're all going to look like these. They're all going to look like candles on one side, meaning if you don't want to do the action on the other side here, which would be, hey, get another wand so I can score some more cards, or get a book of whatever color I want, or rearrange up to 4 books in different spots, which is how you can score some of these bigger points by rearranging books on your bookshelf. Now, when you do that, it still has to follow the proper placement of a bookshelf. Or this one is hey, just extra books, just 2 extra books to kind of fill up my bookshelf. Because as you see here, every time you fill up a bookshelf at the end of the game, you will be getting the victory points as indicated on the edges of the board with the circles. The squares up there, those are for candles. Again, if I didn't want to do this, maybe I'm happy with the books I have, I don't want to shuffle any, I can flip it over, make it a candle, and pop it up here for 3, 2, 1 points. There are ways to get extra bookshelves in this game. They can be the tiles here or the cards played. If you choose to get an extra bookshelf, you put it here, put an extra spider there. Again, if you can fill it up, you can get 6 victory points. And if you put candles there and there, you can get another 6 victory points, 4 there and 2 there. Of course, you can't use them for both. So if I was to use it for the wand, I couldn't turn around and use it as a candle, obviously. The other type of icon that you'll see here, a couple of them, again, book shuffling, gives you wands, or it can give a player victory points too. You can be awarding players victory points. Now, another thing about bookshelves, as a bookshelf fills up, this spider will move all to the edge, and then eventually he'll get squashed because you filled up the bookshelf. So let's say I was playing down here, and I got my last book, placed it in there, and I squished that spider. Well, now I can cash this spider in for a bonus. I can grab a tile from the bag. I can grab a wand so I can score more victory points. I can get any book of my color, or I can get an extra bookshelf. And once you've done that, you discard the spider and try to smush the other spiders. Of course, new spiders will go in new little bookshelves that you have. The game will go 5 rounds through the A deck, and then you'll shuffle the B deck, deal out 6 cards, and do it again. Once the 5 rounds are over there, whoever has the most victory points wins. Now, the only other way, of course, besides scoring these every round, as you see, these are keep moving down and new ones keep popping up each time. So if you don't get it in time, that bonus goes away. But another thing you get is you get to score besides the shelves and the candles, you'll also be scoring how many books that you have connected together. So for instance, let's say that I had a bookshelf that looked like this, okay? I can score any books that are touching that are my color. So I'm the green player, so I get 1, 2 points here. Now, if this one had somehow been switched with the black book and maybe I'd had it here, I would have gotten 3 points or 4 points because all of those match up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, you can't count one by itself, obviously. It has to be matching or touching another book orthogonally to count as a victory point. Again, that's only for books of your color. And at the end of the game, of course, whoever has the most victory points wins. Final thoughts. What do I think about the game? Well, I saw this game for sale on Black Friday last year, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to try this out, and I'm glad I did. It's one of those simple or next step games that really, at first you may think is a little bit complicated, but really not. You're collecting books, of course, and trying to score those books. Now, the first time I played this, I had no idea what the strategy was here until you started switching books around in your bookshelf, and that's where the big gameplay comes in, because you're trying to match those objectives. And of course, you want to keep getting wands so you can score the big points. Now, wands are worth 1 victory point at the end of the game. I don't know if I mentioned that, but they are, but those are just like piddly points. You'd rather be using those wands to score on one of those base cards. I love the look of the game. I love the dividers for where all the books go. The names on the books can be very funny at times. That must have been a hard job naming all those books. There must be hundreds of books they had to name, but it is kind of cool. And as you're looking at your shelf, it is very thematic as well. Spiders, to be honest, the most powerful action of those 4 is grabbing a tile from the bag. I don't know why you wouldn't do that. I mean, because you can get all the other things mentioned. I mean, I guess if you want to be for sure, but a tile from the bag is what every single person picked every single time, and I don't blame them either, unless you're just really needing a particular color book. But that never even got picked. So that's kind of weird that the spider has that ability to give you an extra tile from the bag. I wish it would have been the other 3 abilities instead, because I think that would have been a better decision, but it's a no-brainer why you wouldn't pick a tile from the bag. Other than that, though, the game is pretty good. It plays very smoothly. It's very thematic too, of course. Wands, books, magic spells, and whatnot. And it's a whole lot of fun. So if you're interested in getting this, yeah, I would say go ahead and get it because I absolutely love the game. And of course, another win for Renegade. Really great company, I'm finding out. All right, gamers, that's all the time I have for now. Until next time, you know what to do. Game on!